Hey, welcome to Metroid Prime 2. This is a bit of a departure from what I normally do, but I felt like doing something different. Jishdip kind of inspired me to do it with his crazy shenanigans on Metroid Prime 1. And the gimmick here, because, well, I can't do a low percent run, I'm not that good, gimmick is that the HUD is disabled. I won't be able to see my health, my missiles, my ammo, or the health bars of any of the bosses I encounter. I'm hoping that'll make things reasonably difficult, but not insanely. So this area is pretty much I don't really want to say tutorial, since it doesn't... If you're playing a Metroid Prime game, you probably know how Metroid games work. You solve puzzles and collect items. There's no real mechanics other than jump, shoot, and missiles, which I don't think come into play in this tutorial area. And also, unique to the Metroid Prime games is, well, third-person morph ball rather than first-person shooting, and scanning, which is getting more information, opening doors, opening bridges, activating things. Pretty much everything is done by scanning or shooting. Which, I suppose, works as a reasonable thing. It's a good way to give the player information. One criticism of these games is it kind of walks you through a bit too much with the hint system and maps rather than just making you create your own map. However, they're still reasonably difficult. They preserve the exploring spirit of the original games, and that's pretty much all the generic stuff that I can spout out without knowing anything about the rest of the series. Because I'm going to be serious, I haven't beaten Zero Mission, I haven't beaten Super Metroid, I don't think I've even played an hour of either of them. I haven't played any of the others in the Prime series either. So, really, this is my only Metroid game. So here's your first puzzle. You're supposed to activate that gate by scanning it, but power is not going to the scanning area. So, you have to go activate it with power. And down here, avoid those bugs that can hurt you. Down this way, you'll see a bunch of corpses, or a lot of corpses, and a bomb slot. You'll find a lot of these in the game. You bomb jump into them, like so, and then use a bomb to activate the power. Does a lot of different things. In this case, it somehow brings power to a place a full room away. I don't really understand it. And here we have our first threatening enemies. There were those little bugs earlier, but these are first threatening enemies. I accidentally got the morph ball. You can dodge their shots, you charge your beam. You have the charge beam from the very start, you don't have to worry about that. Missiles take these guys out instantly, but you only have 5, so be careful. Of course, you wouldn't know that by looking at the screen. So heading back this way, we can activate that scanning area once we take care of these enemies. These enemies are actually relatively difficult for first-time players. First time I played this, I had a lot of trouble with them. But then once you know to abuse the missiles, it gets a lot easier. You can bust these guys up. If you're lucky, you'll find things. And yeah, you need a charge shot to take out them. If you're not lucky, you don't get them. Use the morph ball to get under there. And now that power is restored, you can scan it and activate the gate. Now, there are a lot of optional things to scan in this game. Some of them count to 100% completion, some of them don't. Things like lore, creatures, lore being backstory to the game. Creatures, that's kind of a bestiary, technology, research, stuff like that. That counts to your score. But there are also just kind of random things you can scan that don't add to your percentage, and they just kind of give you information about it. I'm not going to be going for a whole lot of scans because that's tedious to watch, quite frankly. And also tedious to find, and just tedious in general. this area has a lot of really, really the entire game has a lot of really cool visual effects, backgrounds, landscapes. And here we have our first plot event. It's pretty sweet. And that looks threatening. You can already tell purple being evil is a motif in this game and a lot of games.